Ghost Notes Radio.
Wat voor radio?
Ghost Notes Radio.
Sun up to sundown, got to keep working, yeah. Sun up to sundown, got to keep working, yeah. No, we never get tired of this. No, we never get tired. No, we never get tired of this. No, we never get tired. Walk through the fire.
Welcome, Scott.
Thank you.
And how was your tour so far in Germany?
Well, I guess we've been in Germany for maybe 3 or 4 shows now. Before that, we had nearly 2 weeks. Getting ready for Germany. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So we started in Amsterdam and then worked our way south through France, Italy, up to Switzerland, and now here we are in Germany. Yeah. So things have been going really well.
And it's a sold-out show tonight in Berlin.
Yeah. And that's always a great achievement. You know, when you look on the website or the management send through a little note saying, "Hey guys, that show's sold." It always feels like that's a good tick in the box. You know, for a tour. It's exciting for us. It's exciting for the audience members that have bought tickets. You know, they got in there. They got them before they went.
And it feels like for decades that the people still want to hear you, want to dance to you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think we sort of purposefully decided to play a different sort of venue this time. So we played some really big outdoor shows.
Right.
Obviously it's winter, so we couldn't do that. And it's nice to come back to Berlin and play a slightly smaller, slightly more intimate show, which is, how the band started really. And when I first started playing with the Freddys, we were playing those 2,500, 3,000 people venues, so we were back to that number tonight. Yeah.
And can you introduce yourself for people, I don't know, maybe don't know every band member, what you're playing?
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Chopper Reeds on the bandstand. I'm the saxophone player. So I'm one of the brass section, there's 3 of us.
Really great brass.
Yeah, thank you. We've been playing together for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in Berlin in Zitadelle.
Yes.
This outdoor location.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And it's, it was great. And your music often feels like a journey when you're creating. Do you start with a destination in mind, or is it more about letting the music take you wherever it wants to go?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I think when we're writing the songs themselves, we just let them go where they're going to go.
Yeah.
But when we're putting the set together for a show, we do think in a big shape. Where do we want to end up? We want to end up in this sort of clubby, electronic, deeper, heavier sound. So how do we get there, and how do we make it interesting? So it's a bit of a combination of that, really. Yeah.
So you changed the set list every gig on the tour?
No, we don't. Sometimes it's really settled for a long time. But the way that we play those songs changes from night to night. And then the interesting thing is that some songs are almost identical each night. That's just that sort of song. Yeah. And that's their job. Their job is to get us up and going, or to transition from one area to the next, or whatever it is. And then other bits of the show, it's just open. What happens there happens there. So yeah.
New Zealand has such a rich cultural and natural backdrop. How does your environment and cultural heritage shape the music you make?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think the band's actually probably a reasonable representation of New Zealand, in that it's a mix of cultures and styles, and we all bring something different to the table, musically. And I think that's what possibly reflects our culture quite well.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening in New Zealand. Compared to lots of countries, New Zealand's still really young.
Yeah.
Or at least this modern version of it is still quite, it's still forming, it's still working out who it is and how the different cultures are going to be represented and it's shifting the whole time, and I think probably that's similar to Freddys, you know. Sometimes we're more reggae, sometimes we're more techno, sometimes we're more blues, sometimes we're jazzier, you know. So yeah.
Right. Like you said, your sounds blend dub, reggae, soul, electronica in such a distinctive way. How has your music evolved over the years, and are there new directions you are excited to explore? You already explore a lot, right?
Yeah, well, I think we're not afraid to sort of take on almost any genre or style these days. I think that's probably something that has become more apparent in our music, is that we're more comfortable in some of these areas than we may have been before, you know. So doing a really soulful tune or a real soul song, that feels quite natural to us now because we've been doing it for a long period of time. I think the thing that has evolved is the sound we're going for, the quality of the sound, the richness of it, the way that it's captured, and how, you know, sound design and sound engineering can be a thread in what we do, rather than just like, right, we'll play the song and we'll try our best to get a sound. Now we're really interested in, okay, well, if we change the microphones on the saxophone or whatever, what does that sound? Does it help the song? You know, if we record the drums in a different way, you know, will it help us get the sound across? So yeah.
Getting really professional.
Yeah, that's right.
FAT FREDDYS Drop has such a loyal global following of fans, and can you share some stories about a memorable fan interaction? What's still in your mind and what you think that was?
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, I tell you, we've had people that have flown from one side of the world to the other side of the world to see us play live. You know, people that have, because we started doing a little bit of touring in the States, but we kind of stopped doing that because it was just so difficult. And we thought, okay, well,
what do you mean difficult?
Well, it was expensive, and trying to break in the sort of band that we are, where we want to do a big scale of production. It's not really the place for that. You've got to start quite small and work your way in there, you know. And we sort of felt we were in the wrong place to do that. But people from the United States and from South America keep flying to see us play in Europe, you know, and they'll come up to you after the show and say, or they'll hold a sign up saying, we flew from Dallas to see you, or we flew from Mexico City to see you, or whatever. And we dubbed them the Fred heads, you know, like they used to be the Grateful Dead. They had the Deadheads who'd travel around and follow them, so we call our fan base the Fred heads, because they're pretty committed, and they'll travel a long way, they'll come and see repeated shows, they know all the words, you know, it's interesting.
Your live performances are kind of legendary for their energy and stuff, and how you translate your studio stuff into live performances? You doing like choreo stuff, or you just everybody can do what he wants? Like you can go with your saxophone wherever you want. And
yeah, I think it's about. I think the band started by just jamming together and just playing music together, and stretching material out over a quite a long period of time, and seeing what different parts of the song you could work on, you know, which one night it might be the reggae part, the next night it might be the techno bit or whatever, you know, might come out stronger. And over the years we've just got better and better at sort of understanding where the energy is, when to harness it, when to just let it go, when to extend something out. We've got a little, you know, played together for such a long time that we've got a really good sense of where the other people are going, you know. Like you can hear when someone's wanting to push something a little bit further, and you can go, okay, well, we'll just give that person some space to do that.
If you could collaborate with any artist, past or present, you have one special artist you would love to make a song with? Or?
Well, I'm a huge Prince fan, so that would be amazing. But then we did a show in Luxembourg 2 nights ago, and after the show we sat around and we listened to a whole bunch of Stevie Wonder songs.
Wow.
And we were all sitting there going, wow, that is a catalogue of music, you know, especially around that songs in the key of life, you know, Secret Life of Plants, that sort of period of time is pretty magical songwriting. And
dream for one section, right?
Just for anyone, even just sitting there listening to it, hearing the chord changes, thinking, what's he doing there? You know, just amazing. So something like that would be an experience.
Between Prince and Stevie Wonder. Being an independent band with such a unique sound must have its challenges. What's been one of the toughest hurdles you've overcome as a band?
Yeah,
how old are you now as a band?
21 years, something like that. No, as a band playing probably 23 or 4 years, I'd say, yeah.
Or you ever have something like you want to cut it and said, no, we stop this?
I think the biggest hurdle, I don't think we haven't got to the point, we've had, you know, like any group of people that works together for a long period of time, you have bits when you're not getting along or not everyone's getting along.
Yeah.
That's just natural, right? But we've got through it and we've all sort of got to this point and we're like, you know what, this is something we're really good at, we really like doing it, we want to keep doing it. So I'd say that's still the same situation we're in. Some of the biggest hurdles we have, I guess, are that our music doesn't really fit into a commercial sort of area very easily, you know what I mean? And every now and then a song gets picked up and it doesn't quite fit with commercial radio. They want to play it and we'd love for them to play some more of our music. And in New Zealand, there's a really strong correlation between radio, like traditional radio, and the audience out there, you know, who knows what's going on. And I guess over the years we've drifted further and further away from that. But that's just who we are, you know, that's the music we want to make. We don't want to change the music we're making, but it's come to our realization that, you know what, you know, commercial radio is never going to change. It's just going to do the easiest thing it can. You know?
Yeah, I think what's easy for everyone.
What's easy for commercial radio, yeah.
New Zealand has epic beaches and lush bushland. If you could only choose one as the ultimate inspiration for your music, what would it be? Or can it not only be one?
Ooh, I don't think it can be one because New Zealand is so. I mean, one of the cool things about New Zealand is that you can be, and this is quite literal. You can be at the top of a mountain covered in snow, and look off to the east there and see a coastline with the waves crashing in, and get from the top of that mountain to that coastline in a few hours. You know, and so that proximity to nature is just inherent in New Zealand, I think. In terms of its influence on us, I've got to say at the moment, the bush, because of the album art that's, you know, on the slow-mo, there's a amazing Nikau palm in the middle of that, so yeah.
The dub influence in your music is undeniable. How do you approach space and delay in your tracks? Is there a particular method or philosophy behind how you dub out certain sections?
Or I'd have to acquiesce and hand the answer over to DJ Fitchy, our amazing producer there. That is really his realm. So again, I think it's just we're all aware of dub music. We're all ready for any dub element to arrive in the music at any time.
Okay.
And so if your ears are switched on to that approach to music, then when it happens, it's not a surprise at all. And I'd say anything is fair game. So some of our less dubby tunes have got dubs in them. We've taken a dub approach to it. So I'd say it's the thing that unites absolutely everything we do.
Okay. When you're recording, how much of the process is planned versus improvised? Has there been any jam sessions turned into a final track? I think so, huh?
Yeah.
No.
So almost everything starts as a jam session. Almost every single thing. We'll start with a tiny little fragment. It could be a drum loop. It could be a sample of some keyboards or a guitarist, or someone will have made a little beat, and we'll just jam along with that. And then ideas will start flowing, and people will start, gravitating towards a few ideas. And we record it all, and then we go back and have a listen. And then we'll take some of the best ideas from that and use that as the next springboard for the next jam, and so on and so on. So by the end, it feels like it's a song, that we've been writing that song, but it started way back here, often years before, as just a jam.
Your horn section is a standout feature of your music, and I'm really into horns, trombone, saxophone and stuff. I really like it. How do you arrange the brass parts to complement the rhythm and melody without overpowering the track? Is it just your section say how much you play, or is there somebody else in the band who said, okay, be quiet there, or?
Well, all of the above, really. So I think you've absolutely nailed it there, in that we try not to overpower anything. We're trying to support the song and the lyric as much as we can, and then when that moment comes, when it needs a change or a shift or a different sound, then that's when the horns can step forward and play something a bit more impactful or melodic or rhythmic or whatever it is, it can take over for a bit. And that sort of threads back to the live show, because during the live show there's always that give and take between the vocals and then the horns, and then the rhythm section, and then the vocals, and then, there's always someone's always got the kind of the lead, as it were.
Yeah, really nice. Your tracks stretch out into epic extended forms. How you decide when a song is done? Because some songs of you are really long, but I really like.
Gosh,
like you said, in normal radio,
it's
only like the 2-minute thing now.
Like I said, I think we've given up on normal radio. Trying to go, hey, this could be a great radio single. We were pretty much given up on that. I think when do we know that it's done? Well, we're kind of full of tinkerers, that's what I'd say. So there's people in the band that love to just have one more go at it, what if we change this just a little bit, I would say that's not me personally. There's someone, I can't remember, it was a producer I was watching on YouTube or something, and he said, once it gets to 85%, then you got to be prepared to let it go. And I know that's controversial for some people, but I kind of like that approach, I kind of like that approach, that you're going to sort of like, okay, yep, let's keep moving along. So
Wellington is a city known for its creative energy. What's your favorite thing about the city, and how does it feed into your music?
What's my favorite thing about the city? I think it's always sort of it always finds a way. Wellington always finds a way. That's what I'd say. For little creative sprinkles to make their way through what can be quite a sort of bureaucratic country. It's the capital of New Zealand. It's where the Parliament is. But despite all this, there's these little pockets of creativity that always just push up through the cracks in the concrete and grow something interesting. And I think that's been going on since the 60s and 70s, and it's still continuing now, not so much with Freddy's, but with the younger generation of producers and promoters and stuff. They're really, finding ways to make venues happen, or put on shows, or produce music, or that's what I think Wellington has here.
It's a big problem in Berlin.
Everywhere, right? Everywhere,
the people don't have rehearsal rooms.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like
creative
this.
spaces, gigs, apartment blocks are going in, which means nightclubs need to close down because they're too loud, or all that sort of carry on. you know, that's not, no one wants a city that's just apartment blocks, right? And nothing interesting. Surely not.
That's crazy, yeah. As an artist who have a global reach, do you feel a sense of responsibility to address political or social issues in your music?
I don't feel that we have a responsibility as a band to do that. I think we've got responsibility as individuals to do that. I think, and the thing I do like about, you know, we don't often write a song which is like, you know, a protest song. But one of the things I do like about Dallas's lyric writing is that the lyrics are quite open to interpretation. And you can take it at a very personal level, or you can take it and apply it to a big global issue. And it's up to you how you want to do that. I think the other thing is that for Freddy's, part of what we do is to bring joy and energy into people's lives. That's how we feel we can contribute. You know, we can give them a couple of hours in their week or month or year or whatever, where they just have a really good time and just get swept up in energy, you know. And that's what we do on stage. We you know, you feel the energy in the room, and at various times, politically or globally or whatever, you can feel that there's people need to have that release. They need that energy, that positive energy in their lives, and they walk out of the room at the end of the night going, "Yeah, I feel good about myself. I feel good about this." You know?
So you still have hope in today's political landscape and stuff. Are there any movements or leaders that you will say? Yeah,
there are so many things to be hopeful about. Primarily the next generation. Our kids, you know, are growing up, and they're pretty aware of what's going on in the world. And I think they're making lots of conscious decisions to you know, move away from the norms, to set their own sort of path. I think that's what we can be hopeful for.
If there was one global issue you wish people talk more about, you have something that you think that needs to be more talked about?
Yeah. Gosh, so many. I think it's a big one in New Zealand, and that's I think sort of the showing respect and dignity to other cultures, to all cultures, I should say, has got to be a crucial thing. In New Zealand at the moment, there's a lot of turmoil around various politicians wanting to absolve themselves of commitments made in the past, you know, and I think they just need to step back. They're doing it for some very short-term political gain. Yeah.
And it feels like it's worldwide.
Yeah.
It's like in Europe, Germany, everywhere. The right wingers.
There's a lot of people, I think, who are they're thinking very, very short term. Very short term. You know, they're thinking about the next electoral cycle in their decision making, and they'll say anything to stay relevant. You know,
they're like a company. They only.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at indigenous cultures around the world, the timescale that they think of is grand. It's enormous, you know. And I think we need to learn a little bit from that approach.
Yeah. Nice said. Back to the island life. If you have to pick one of New Zealand's smaller islands, like Stewart Island or Waiheke, to record an album, where would it be and why?
Oh,
or maybe you recorded already on every island.
We haven't recorded on an island. We've recorded on a friend's farm. That was really good fun. Where would be a good island? See, Stewart Island would be great, but it's quite cold down there. I'd have to go somewhere where it would be warm and sunny, and the fishing was really good, and maybe a bit of surfing. I'm going to say Great Barrier Island, which is an island in the north of New Zealand, and it's large. You know, it's probably 5 or 6 hours on a ferry from the mainland, and I've never been there, so I'd love to go there.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. If Fat Freddy's Drop could host a fan party with unlimited budget, what would the theme be and where would you throw it?
Oh, theme. Oh, that's a good question. What would be an awesome theme? Well, I like a bit of 70s theme there. So I'm going maybe. Do you remember the TV show Get Smart? No, might not have played here.
Yeah, maybe.
60s, 70s, that was pretty cool. Something like that. Or the Jetsons. No, the Jetsons, yeah.
Is it
Space.
the
The Jetsons. I wouldn't want to do it in outer space though. I reckon, but in a hangar, giant hangar. Yeah, the Jetsons theme party, that'd be cool.
Nice. Okay, if the zombies are coming one day,
Oh yeah.
and if you have to survive the apocalypse with only one of your tracks as a soundtrack, which one you would choose from Fat Freddy's Drop? You still love to hear, or would it be a new one?
Well, I'm gonna say Del Fuego because that's my wife's favorite song.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I would take maybe Roadie or something. I still love it.
Ah, okay, yeah.
For a long time, and it's still like timeless,
Yes.
evergreen. If Fat Freddy's Drop were a cocktail, what would it include and what would you call it?
Well, at the moment, the cocktail of choice backstage is a Negroni.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, nice.
yeah.
It's
It's a classic.
The
yeah.
bitter stuff, right?
Yeah. So that one's coming up quite a bit. But I like a Paloma, which is like a twist on a margarita.
Oh, okay.
It's like a margarita but with grapefruit juice instead of lime juice.
Do you drink something before gigs, or you?
I normally have like one drink before a gig,
okay.
yeah, and then maybe one or two afterwards. I'm not a big drinker, so.
Yeah, and you need power to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is not to say I haven't tried having lots of drinks before a gig, but it just doesn't work for me.
Better afterwards.
Yeah.
And you have a signature dance moves because you dance a lot.
I don't have a lot of signature dance moves, but I leave those to Hope Pepper, our trombone.
The trombone player.
He's got lots of signature dance moves. Yeah.
And crazy outfits.
Yeah, that's right. I like to nod in the corner like this.
Just grooving. Are there any weird or quirky New Zealand urban legends that have made their way into your songwriting or inspired your creative life?
Oh, urban legends in our songs. No, but I'm sure there are members of the band who are creating their own legends as we speak.
That's nice.
They've made it into the folklore of New Zealand for sure.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and looking forward to see you tonight.
Yeah, me too, it'll be fun.
Dance and have a good time, and
thank you very much.
never stop doing this.
Yeah, no, hopefully not.
Ghost Notes Radio.
This is Chopper Reads from Fat Freddy's Drop. You're listening to Ghost Note Radio on 88.4.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, nice to meet you.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, I hope you have a good time too.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I love dancing to your music.
Thanks.
Bye.
Ghost Notes Radio.
I'm still in love.
Betont die Pointen dazwischen.
Didn't I treat you right now? I once prefer the keep the evil away.
Es ist wieder soweit. Sendezeit.
Check it.
Real bad man.